All right, let's have some fun. I've been looking to cover this for about a week now, and it's just kind of how Republicans are they're getting a little bit of pushback when they go to their town halls now. And when I say Republicans, I mean like representatives in Congress or senators, whatever. So, this is from the Washington Post. After explosive town halls, Republicans rethink how to reach voters. Will town halls do the trick? You can see where this is going. They're terrified right now, and what we're about to read is they don't want to face their constituents. Stick around to the end. We're also going to watch a couple of clips of some of these outbursts. So stick around for that. Anyways, House Republicans are rethinking how best to reach constituents after a series of combative town halls where protesters vented about President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's policies. GOP leaders tasked with helping keep their majority in 2026 midterms told lawmakers Tuesday morning to be cautious when holding in-person town halls. Representative Richard Hudson, Republican from North Carolina, the head of the National Republican Congressional Committee, encouraged Republicans to hold virtual town halls instead, arguing that in-person town halls are giving protesters an opportunity to cause a scene and drown out their party's messaging, according to multiple people in the room. Wow, that's hilarious. So we've seen a lot of similar moves to essentially stamp out protesters. Republicans don't like when you protest if it is against them. All right, they'll support it if it's against Democrats. Hell, they'll support you to the point of breaking into the Capitol building, and you already know where I'm going with that. Anyways, they do not want to deal with the consequences of their actions. And that's just so telling. And to elaborate further on my point I was just making, Trump just signed an executive order or just put out some mandate. I forget what it was. He basically said something along the lines that, like, if you protest on college campuses, you could be jailed and, kicked out of the country if you're a student on a visa. Like, how anti-free speech can you possibly get? Anyways, it gets worse. So, we've been encouraging our members to communicate directly with their constituents, and they're anxious to do that. Speaker Mike Johnson said at his weekly news conference following Tuesday GOP gathering away from Capitol Hill, there's a lot of different ways and forms to do it. You could do it in telephone town halls. Are you kidding me? We find that to be very, very productive, he continued, and more productive than if you just go to an open forum right now. Yeah, because they are afraid of their constituents being pissed off at them and trying to get some answers instead of being gaslit like we're going to see when we watch a couple of these clips. But it's so funny. Like, they're telling them to do it virtually, remotely, while at the same time attacking work from home, forcing all government employees to come back to the office, which there's not even going to be an office because they're selling like a ton of federal government buildings. That's another video coming out today. Be on the lookout for that. But it's just funny. Like, they have no shame. They have no shame at all. Over the last 2 weeks, Republican lawmakers have faced scenes of frustration and outrage in their districts, particularly over Musk's efforts to fire federal employees and cut research funding. Republicans spent last week blaming Democrats for riling up voters. Johnson claimed Tuesday that professional protesters are descending on town halls for the cameras. We all know it, he said, and I think it's wise not to play into it right now. Bro, they're so delusional. So yeah, these protesters, people being mad at town halls for the disastrous policies that the Trump administration is responsible for all these disastrous Doge cuts. No. People aren't upset about that. It's paid protesters. It's Democrats paying people to protest. Oh my goodness. I can't. From the party that stormed the Capitol building on January 6th, they have no right to say anything about protest. No claims. Democratic Caucus Chair Pete Aguilar Democrat from California denied protests were on their behalf. These are not paid individuals, no matter how many times the speaker says it. These are Americans who are angry. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and House Majority PAC, the campaign and fundraising arm for House Democrats, are in touch with state parties and local groups when GOP lawmakers are holding town halls but are not directing people to attend, according to people familiar with the strategy who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss private conversations. We don't need to send paid protesters into your town hall meetings. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Oh my God. The American people are with us. No, they're not, actually. Yeah, they're mad at the Trump administration, and a lot of people are realizing that and getting mad as we're seeing these protests and these interruptions in town halls, but they're not with you. All right? Your whole thing of let's just sit back, play dead, not do anything until the Republicans make everyone hate them themselves. We'll see how far that goes. Like, you need to lead. You need to step up and lead. All right? People want a leader, and the Democrats have not been able to provide that. They want someone who can call out their issues that they're having and say they will address them. Now, Trump calls them out, but he does not address them. In fact, in many cases, he makes them worse. But a lot of people don't really dig much deeper, and that's sad, and that's why we're in the position we're in. And then it's just going to get into a lot of examples of what's been going on and how it compares to other times. But let's watch this one, and this is from Rich McCormick. This is the dude who was just on Fox News or whatever a couple weeks ago basically saying, yeah, we should get rid of child labor laws. Students don't deserve free school lunch, free school breakfast. They should work for it. That's this guy, by the way. Also, I do want to go back to this article for a second because it did remind me of something that I wanted to touch on. I'm trying to say it. Oh, I will give a little bit of respect to Sir Representative Richard McCormick, because he said he will continue speaking with constituents despite tense in-person debates because people need to know lawmakers are listening. Now, is he actually listening? As you're about to see, it doesn't really seem like it, but he's still showing up. So I will at least give him respect for that. Let's watch.
So I would like to know, rather, the people would like to know what you, congressmen, and your fellow congressmen are going to do to rein in the megalomaniac in the White House.
When you talk about tyranny, when you talk about presidential power, I remember having the same discussion with Republicans when Biden was elected.
What a gaslight, man. What a gaslight. All right. There's a lot of claims about Biden and even Obama trying to become dictators and usurp so much power. But that's just lies. All right. No one can ever provide any evidence to that. You can't even find statements where they even hint at it. Trump will take actions to consolidate his power, to blatantly ignore laws. And he will also say it. And people are like, Joe Biden tried too. You're crazy. I know I have a lot of Republicans in my comment section. Please, tell me how Biden was trying to, become a dictator and how he was trying to consolidate all this presidential power. Okay, tell me. Because I'm going to respond with a very long list of executive orders, actions, and statements from Sir Donald Trump himself. So, please, give me something and you better back it up.
The funny thing is, you're sitting here and a lot of you would probably say those January 6s who are yelling just as loud as you, who are upset just like you, and not listening.
Hey, let's restore some order. Let's restore some order. Hey, let's restore some order.
So yelling at me is not going to get any answer, okay? Yeah. I've seen Game of Thrones too, thank you. Let's go ahead and move on, because if you're not going to listen, If you're not going to listen to the answer, we might as well not discuss it, right?
So, yeah. How do you expect people to react when they're like, hey, Trump has taken a lot of executive actions to consolidate his power and has ignored court rulings and is just doing a lot of, at best, legally questionable stuff, at best. And your response is, well, actually, we were having these same conversations about Biden, bro. Oh, my goodness. And you wonder why you get booed out of the room. We have another one here. This was Senator Roger Marshall. This is a good one, too. I hope it shows the full context.
We have a lot of folks that have traveled a long ways to be here. This is really Oakley's town hall. I'm going to try to focus on their questions. I'm going to say this one time. If you all keep cutting me off, if you're rude, which you're being, I'm going to leave. The people from Oakley don't deserve this.
Thank you.
All right.
Can we see a raise of hands?
Okay, this is what I'm talking about right here, that if you're going to keep interrupting me, we're not going to do this.
Percentage of those people, and I know you care about the veterans, are veterans. And that is a damn shame.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a shame. I'm not a Democrat, but I'm worried about the veterans.
Well, I yielded to one of my elders, and I appreciate his comments. I think it's a great. I'm not gonna. We don't have time for everyone to stand up. I do got 2 more commitments today. Appreciate everybody making the drive out, and God bless America. Thank you.
What a coward, man. So I couldn't exactly hear the question that was asked. It was something to do with veterans, and I don't know, that could be a million things because the Trump administration has not been helpful towards veterans. They gutted the VA. They're still gutting it. What was it? They cut off contracts for a lot of small businesses, like government contracts that were given to small businesses for whatever. A lot of those small businesses were owned by veterans. Oh, geez. So it could be a number of things. So yeah, and they just want to know about that. And he's just like, yeah, what's the time? Oh, yeah, I gotta go. These people are cowards. Cowards. And don't let them hide from you, okay? They don't get peace and quiet. If they don't want to show up to town halls to speak to their constituents, then you should be outside their house protesting every day, all day. Follow these people around and you protest everything they do. Because this is important. And democracy is literally at stake here. Okay? I don't know how many more executive orders and questionable actions and just illegal things Trump can do. Like, you have Republicans now trying to propose legislation for a 3rd term. That would also conveniently prevent Obama from running for a 3rd term. Insanity. So don't give these people peace, man. These are people voting against your interests. These are people voting to give mega tax cuts to the rich while giving you, like, what, a measly $1,800 tax cut? Wow. But what's that cost? Gutting $880 billion from Medicaid, Medicare. They've already talked about cutting Social Security. I think there's plans to cut like half of the Social Security Administration's workforce. And then, you can read all the lists of Doge firings, all the flight safety and maintenance personnel at the FAA. There's a whole list. All of that. So yeah, these people don't deserve peace. All right? You protest them and you let them know. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.